Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach, therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me today is Natalie Stone. She is passionate about creating delicious, all plant-based meals and is author of vegan recipe book, Recipes for Vitality, which also include health benefits for each recipe. So, hello, Natalie.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm very happy to have you.
Great. Happy to be here.
Uh, I'm very happy to have you, and I want to say to our viewers that I met you and I know you as your mom's PA.
Yes.
Quite some years ago. I can't even believe that it's about 7 years ago now.
Wow.
I met you as your mom's PA when I first time came to just few hours of empowerment and your mom's home. And everybody probably already know your mom is Sue Stone. So we know your mom's story quite well. Can you please tell our viewers a little bit how you felt, what happened at some point, and how you felt as a kid in that moment when everything go downhill for your mom and your family?
Yeah, of course. It's funny things that you try not to remember as a child, or maybe I've put to the back of my mind. Everything growing up, we had a very happy childhood, and we went on amazing holidays and everything. And then when things started going wrong, and obviously we nearly ended up on the streets. Everything was horrendous, as most people know. And my mum, Sue, pretty much lost everything. The house was about to get repossessed. And she had her story. She had her last £10 left, kind of thing, and it was horrendous. I think she was pretty clever at hiding a lot of it from us, because obviously we were young, and I'm grateful.
How old are you at that point?
So when it all was really going on, I was about 12 or 13. I'd say 12 when it was the pinnacle moment. And like I said, I just remember, and this isn't a negative because I've said this before, but she was really, really snappy. And obviously I had no idea quite the extremes of what was going on, and that we were literally about to kind of obviously lose our home. And it was obviously her turning point was the realizing about all the self-help and everything, and how she was literally focusing on, we're going to be homeless. Me and my 3 kids are going to be living in a box on a street, kind of thing. And then when she started really thinking about it, she realized everything she was doing was wrong, and turned that round. And that's how she created kind of the life where we are now. But I just remember, we couldn't go out. I remember one thing that really sticks in my mind. And I think I took £5 out of her purse, and I went to Ferndown, our town at the time, and they had an old-fashioned record store, and I bought her I think it was a cassette. I think it wasn't even a CD at this time, of her favorites. It was a Simply Red song. And I came home and I was so I don't know if it was for her birthday or for Mother's Day, or whether I just decided to do it, but I didn't have any money because I was obviously maybe I was 11 or 10 at the time. And I remember giving it to her as a present, and her reaction was like, "Oh my God, what have you done? You've wasted £5 on this."
Nice.
And she was really angry, but not angry, upset and worried. And I couldn't believe it. And I remember thinking, "Oh my God, what have I done?" But she was just I guess that was when I really realized how tight things were. And the fact I'd, done that, and that's funny enough, that's just popped into my head. But so that was when I suddenly thought, okay, things are not good. I can't even buy it might have even been £2 or £3, I can't remember, but a cassette for my mum, which I took out. I took it out of her money, but it was for a present for something. But yeah, it was crazy looking back now to think how serious it all really did get for us. And I remember, looking in the cupboards and not seeing much food, or not being able to go on certain school trips. We were all at private school, and, we had to come out of private school, which actually was, I will say, was the best decision. Me and my brothers both all agree on that. The best thing we ever did was actually leave our school and go to the state school in our local town, and best thing I ever did anyway. So ironically, that was a positive for me. But, things were really quite challenging, and she had, sold a car and was driving around in a £250 old banger that, and it was just, that's just what it was. We didn't have a choice in it really. But I look back now and I think, wow, it just can't even begin. As a parent myself now, I can't begin to think how she managed to hold it all together for the three of us so well. But she did. She was amazing.
How you get in cooking? Because I know you every time when I'm in your mom's, in your house, every time I have the most delicious meals.
Thank you.
So how you get in cooking?
So actually going back to that, so as a young teenager, we were quite independent children anyway, but I was, I remember making tea for mum and things as, I'm not sure what age I was, how young I was, but I somehow became, I loved to cook for the family. And it was a case of going into the cupboards and finding whatever I could, because there wasn't a standard thing like on a Monday, here's your sausage and mash, and on a Tuesday, here's your this or that. It was a case of what can I find and what can I put together to create something. I'd open up the spice cupboard and I'd pull out a few herbs or spices, and I'd just start making things. And it kind of just started like that. And my passion for creating, I think that's the key, is I've never followed a recipe in my life. Ironically, I'm a bit of a couple of dabs of this and a couple of shakes of that is how I kind of work. So putting my recipe book together was actually quite challenging in some degree, because I had to actually measure things out. So that's where that started with my kind of flair or passion for cooking. And then just as a parent, I chose to do baby-led weaning with Hallie, my daughter, who's nearly 9. And as a baby, I was really conscious of what I was putting in her body, and started down that route of creating random dishes for her that most 6-month-olds wouldn't be eating. And I remember as a toddler, someone asked her what her favorite food was, and she said quinoa, avocado and salmon. And the person that asked was like, sorry, what? And it's just because I was really conscious of putting good stuff into her. And then it developed with the plant-based side of things. I think it's roughly 9 years ago now, my brothers turned vegan, or went vegetarian and then turned vegan. And they did it purely at the time for the animals, completely total respect for them. They were very, very conscious of what was going on in the world, and the dairy and the farming and everything, and how really to bring me to where I got to being a passionate plant-based cook is I watched them go from big men, big lads who were eating tubs and tubs of chicken breasts and, bulking out and very, very fit, to suddenly being vegan, and they didn't look well. They were tiny, in fact. And they won't mind me saying that. And I couldn't believe, I thought, how have they got so unwell from turning vegan? Not unwell, but so tiny, and it can't be healthy for them. And it was a case of, at the time, there wasn't really anything around for them. There was no, you couldn't go to a supermarket and barely find anything, maybe a bit of tofu. There was, you'd go out for dinner and no one in a restaurant would have a vegan menu. So it was a case of them having a side salad and a portion of chips. They were putting it, you know, they were living off baked beans on toast and things like that. And I started thinking, okay, this is crazy. There must be a way we can start making this healthy. And that really started their journey as well into the nutritional side of it. I mean, there's huge things with all the nutritional side of things, which we can talk about in a while. But I started thinking, right, here's a bolognese. How am I going to make this vegan? And actually, it's really easy. You don't need to add your meat or this or this. And that's what I started doing. I started making it my mission to cook for them as much as I could if I was at home and things. And I'd do my cottage pie, I'd do lasagna, I'd do all sorts of things, but I would just turn it into a plant-based dish. And that's where I started. And again, it was a bit like opening up the cupboard, finding what I could. And I guess it's being clever with your foods. For example, my plant-based ale pie, I know how to make that so hearty and meaty. And, you know, there's just different little tips that you can put in that people just wouldn't think about. Soy sauce, Marmite, maybe people do think about those things, but it's all about creating the flavor. And I love hosting for people and telling them this is completely vegan, well, plant-based vegan.
Can I stop you for 1 minute? I remember I was invited in one of, I think it was at Easter time, your mom invited people who want to celebrate Easter with her. And so I went on this celebration and you served, I think it was casserole, but it was, one of them was with meat and other of them was without meat.
Yeah.
One was vegan and one was just with meat, normal. And I tried both. I remember I was so interested how it can come out vegan, this casserole. And I tried both, and I actually liked vegan one better than meaty one,
Yeah.
which one is completely unusual for me.
I know. Yeah, it's amazing. Just by putting in a few different ingredients, there are, you know, a meat bolognese. There is something quite, if you're into meat, that, you know, it's delicious. But a vegan one, I'm proud to say I can do almost, you know, as good, if not to some people better. I remember hosting a dinner party, and one of my friends, well, two of my friends brought their husbands, and I did my pie, and my friend's husband particularly he's like, you know, meat on every plate, and he couldn't believe. He literally was like, I can't actually believe there's no meat in this. I can't believe the taste is incredible. It's just how you do it, and like I said, it's not as well as putting all the flavors together and creating it, but knowing you're actually putting in your body not just live food, but real food that is so amazing for your body. And you know, that famous saying, you are what you eat, is so true. It really is, because there's so much out there now with the link of you know, diet and disease. It's incredible, really, the stuff we've come across over the last few years, and the learning of the nutritional side of things is fascinating.
But I think it's very actually controversial, everything at the moment, what we hear, because there is some people, is groups who says, oh no, vegan, it's very bad because you don't have enough nutrition in you, you're missing this, you're missing that, you're missing something else. Others one, no, vegan is perfect, it's wonderful, yeah. Then others is, oh no, need be just this vegetarian or something. I myself actually managed to get from eating whatever I want at any point. I managed to get to low carb and sort of try to get in keto, but it's not happening very well. But because I love fruits, that's my problem.
Fruit.
So fruits, yes, I like fruits.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be careful with the fruit side of things as well. Not saying for yourself, but a lot of people, again, will eat fruit, but actually sometimes you're getting too many of the raw sugars in, which can also be a spike of diabetes. I know a guy, a boiler man, that came around, and he tried to lose weight and started doing smoothies and juicing. And I said to him, oh, you really should juice and have a smoothie or whatever. And he was like, oh, don't even talk to me about that. I've done that. And I gave myself type 2 diabetes. And I said, okay, what were you putting in your smoothies? And he was literally just putting in fruit. And it actually was really quite bad for him. But fruit is good for you, incredibly good for you, but you've got to balance it out. 80% veg to 20% fruit for that exact reason. We're going back to a lot of people. I know spiritual people that have been vegan and they've actually decided that they want a bit of fish in their diet or the occasional bit of chicken because they feel their body needs that. And I'm not vegan. I'm very passionate in plant-based cooking and the plant-based diet, but I think the key is when you're putting in all the right ingredients on a vegan diet, your pulses, your lentils, your nuts, you can actually there is in seeds and pulses and etc. You can have literally a steak like this will give you less of the protein or the fibers that you're going to get in a load of veg and broccoli, for example. I mean, it's endless. So it is interesting. Hence with my brothers, at the beginning, they were just eating to eat. They were eating to live, not living to eat. And now, or the other way around. Have I got that the right way around?
No, the other way around, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. My apologies. But no, so now, they're amazing. I watch what they eat every day and what they put in their smoothies every morning, and they're, it's fascinating. And they are literally the most healthiest pair of guys, that I know probably. They're just because they're doing it right. And it is, once you know a bit more of what it does and how it affects your body, keeping your immune system strong, so many things to do with our foods. Carrots, for example, absolutely insanely good for you. Beetroot cleans your blood. I mean, it's just by putting little bits like that into your body every day is phenomenal. I mean, I juice every morning, and I know I like my wine, but I know I put in a really good dose of raw goodness every morning into my body. I think people have to be so aware of what what they're putting in.
I tried juicing, but it's not for me.
No.
I tried this 3-day juicing program from your mom's friend.
Okay, yes, Julia.
Yeah, Julia, yes. And it's really not for me. At that time, when was already evening, I couldn't finish my breakfast.
No.
It was really, it's not for me, and I feel like I better stay on water, drink warm water for myself to cleanse my body, instead of juicing.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it didn't work at all.
No. Well, that, like I say, everyone is different, but by consciously being aware of what we're putting in, I think is the first step. a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. How you get to the point when you decided to put your recipes into book?
So, like what you said earlier, you came to an event here, or I think it was. Was it Easter Sunday? I think I do remember that when you came at that time. And obviously, Mum holds events here all the time, which I always do the food for. And I remember it never used to be kind of vegan, plant-based, but I remember one particular time I always asked people's dietary requirements, and there were so many dietary requirements for this specific 2 days. I couldn't even get my head around it. And I just thought, oh my goodness, what am I actually going to cook? So I thought the only way I can make this work is I did a completely vegan and gluten-free lunch for 2 days. And that really, which I could do because I obviously was cooking anyway for the boys, but I started really exploring really tasty things. And I guess over all the events, really, it stemmed. So many people were like, you should write a book. You should write a book. And I said, no, don't be silly.
And I was one of them.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm going to write a recipe book. I mean, what's all that about? But I had so many in my head. I had so many lovely recipes that I just do all the time without consciously thinking about it. And I'd write down, if I'd cook something or a curry, I'd quickly write down what I had put in. So I had stacks of kind of things the papers that I just put in a cupboard, just to remember, what had gone in that. But again, like I say, most of the time I love just chucking it all in and going with the flow, creating it with whatever's in the cupboard. And then it got to the start of lockdown, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna, apart from the homeschooling that I had to do, which wasn't fun, I actually started really putting my pen to paper and really writing my books and writing my recipes down and having to recook each one so that I knew I could write down different portions and quantities and everything. And with the help of a lovely friend of mine, we created recipes for Vitality. And my brother, who's hugely into the nutritional side of everything, he helped me, and we went through each recipe and listed the benefits of what this recipe can do and the ingredients in it and what they're powerful for, and certain, cancer fighting foods and things to help with diabetes and to boost your immune system, all things like that.
Maybe you can tell people some tips. What, let's say, for diabetes, starting from diabetes, what would help to eat for to normalize diabetes?
Well, you've really got to cut, obviously, out the cholesterol, for example, and the sugars. I mean, my brother's probably, I'm sure, in another interview with you, would be the best person to talk about that. I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head what it's about. Putting in the right fibers, most plant-based dishes, as long as they're low in the sugars, are very good for helping with diabetes. We know so many people that were diagnosed through diet with their type 2 diabetes and have gone plant-based and have juiced, but predominantly veg, not the fruits, and they've reversed it. It's incredible, the powers behind it. It really is something. It's not people talking waffle about it. There's no benefit to anyone by telling someone to do it. Even by cutting out, I know a lot of people that do like a meat-free Monday, or in January veganuary, which is a thing now. And I mean, going into the supermarket these days, there's aisles for plant-based food. It's amazing. That was never around 8-9 years ago. You can get the most incredible things. It's so easy to experiment with stuff. I personally am not a massive fan of using like a soy-based product instead of meat. I choose to put in lentils, or for example, one of my secret tips, which I'll tell you, is instead of like to create mincemeat kind of substance, I actually use whole aubergine, and I chuck them in the oven and I roast them for, I don't know, an hour or so, so they're completely over roasted whole, and get them out, and you can always tell because you touch the skin and it kind of bursts. It's so tight and kind of overcooked. And then I let them cool and I open them out and I scoop out. It's basically like a slop on the inside. And I use that in a lot of my dishes for as a meat replacement. And it's amazing. It gives the texture. It gives it that thickness. So I choose not to use kind of corn or things like that. I have done. And, it's great for barbecues, chuck a load of, vegan sausages or burgers on the barbecue. And they're actually really good. Some of them are great, but I don't think going down that route, again, is particularly healthy. It's about choosing different things to have.
Yeah, but sometimes you really need to spoil your body as well.
Oh, for sure.
You want this barbecue and you want something different sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I mean, like I said, some of the burgers I've had with my brothers on a barbecue, they're incredible. They really are. And you could probably give it to someone and not even tell them that they weren't having meat. And some of the ones you can get these days, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You said about how you put together this nutrition and find out what benefits is in recipes. And you said you will be talking about acid versus alkaline.
Yeah, sure. So
can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So obviously acidic foods, your body should maintain a completely alkaline level for health reasons. Obviously the acid versus alkaline chart is pretty obvious to say, but sadly to the meat eaters, but red meat in general, eggs, wine, unfortunately, which is my downfall, so acidic. The alkaline, basically the stronger the color, the nutritional rainbow of food is amazing, and what it can do. So to really alkaline your body, there's so many things you can do, and not that I'm not proving this, but cancer actually cannot live, for example, in a completely alkaline body. It's been shown through certain things and measures. It just can't grow. It needs the acidity. It needs the sugar. It thrives on that. That's just one example of why to be so alkaline. But for example, if you look at a chart, I do actually have it on my recipe book as part of a free download. But the darker, leafier greens, the stronger the colours, the reds, the beetroot, the carrots, the blueberries, kale, spinach, that is all right at the top of the completely beautiful food chart of alkalizing your body. Berries, the deeper the deeper the reds. If you can really get hold of some really dark greens and try and get that into your body every day, even just with one meal. Again, I know it's back to the juicing, but if you juice carrots, it's just, they are so
carrots I love.
So insane for your body. They're so good.
Beetroot juice and carrot juice I like.
There you go. So they're probably the two most amazing things. If you can juice those and maybe chuck in some dark greens in there, that's so good. And then maybe a bit of a lemon, if you can, for a bit of sweetness. They are
lemon for sweetness.
Well, yeah, ironically, it does give it. It does. I with my juice, I put in lemons. Like I said, very minimal fruit. But I put in lemon and apples, my only fruit. And yes, of course, the apple will probably give it the sweetness as well. But you'd be surprised by adding lemon juice to something. it does it takes away that earthy taste. It's and so good for you, and the vitamin C and everything.
I never even thought to put lemon for sweetness.
No, it just takes away. It's not bitter. It's not bitter or sharp. It's weird when you juice it. I mean, I think if you had it straight on its own, but combined with the other ingredients, and actually the carrots are quite sweet as well.
I think carrot juice is quite sweet.
Yeah. And then I chuck a load of ginger in there as well, which is obviously incredibly good for you. A ginger shot a day keeps the doctor away, so they say.
What I'm doing vitamins. At the moment, I'm on remedies from Steph
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd.
Yeah, she's amazing.
But I find I always thought how my show's coming up. My show's coming up because I want to help people, obviously, but same time I'm learning myself. Everybody who comes on my show teaches me something. Yeah. And so many people who came on my show, I became their client, like Steph. Yeah, I'm taking those remedies, which is especially for my body, created by Steph. And what else I'm taking when I don't take those remedies? I'm taking lots of vitamins, like turmeric, like vitamin C. Really a lot vitamin D, so I feel like that way try to compensate and not juicing.
Okay,
but at least I give something to my body to actually survive and to be honest with success.
Yeah. Turmeric. Have you heard of something called golden milk?
I may heard, but I don't know what it is.
So we make this at home, and it's amazing. Again, it's really good for a lot of people with arthritis and things like that. And my brother's just had a bit of a bad back at the moment, so he's been really whacking in the golden milk. So it's basically, if you can get organic turmeric powder, and obviously it's a little bit messy when you make it, but it's fine. And so turmeric powder, and cinnamon. Try and get, again, organic. There's certain grades of cinnamon. Cinnamon's actually really good for you. And you get the turmeric powder, the cinnamon powder. You do need ground black pepper as well, because the black pepper is really effective with the turmeric. A lot of turmeric capsules these days come with
black pepper,
with the black pepper, because actually that's what makes it really work, which is interesting.
Thank you for telling me this, because I ran out of turmeric what I had before, and now when I'm coming to buy something new, it's all the time with black pepper.
Yeah.
But I don't want black pepper. I want turmeric.
That's the secret ingredient into the power behind turmeric. Really is ground black pepper. So you get your ground black pepper, your turmeric, and your cinnamon, and then a tiny bit of coconut oil, because there's something to do with the oil forming and how your body absorbs the turmeric, and then you basically put it into like a pan on very slow cook, and you slowly add water, and you basically create a paste. It's quite easy to do. You create the paste and then let it cool, put it in a Kilner jar, and then every morning and every evening, or as much as you want, you just choose how you want to drink it. So we have oat milk predominantly in this house, but some people would have cow's milk or whatever. And warm up the milk, and then you literally add your teaspoon in, stir it all together, and the cinnamon as well gives it quite a nice flavour. And it's quite a kind of wintry taste of drink, but you can have it any time of the year, obviously. That every morning, or even a spoonful in your coffee. I'm not sure how that would go. I've never done that. I don't drink coffee, but you could add it to anything really, or put it in, or mix it with some cacao and have like a hot chocolate with golden milk paste in. But that to put into your body as well every day is amazing. The turmeric is just, but you must have the black pepper. You really must. You should do some research and have a see what you find. But they do say by having the black pepper with it, it's so powerful.
I think it's even hotter because turmeric itself, like, I think the effect is it heats up all inside your body.
Yeah.
And if it heats up turmeric, then pepper is even worse heating up. The only thought is how so two very, very strong spices will react with your inside, your stomach, with your whole system.
I mean, I've never ever had a reaction, and I have quite a, I have not a weak stomach, but I do get affected by certain foods, and I've never ever had a problem. I don't actually know anyone that's had a problem. I think it's so where it's maybe in the paste and it's cooked out slightly, and then you heat it back up. It might have a different effect on you, but I've never known that to cause any problems with the spice, the spice of it. I think the black pepper is quite minimal. Compared to the amount of turmeric I'd put in, I literally put in a sprinkle of black pepper, hardly even visible. But it's having that in there does make the difference.
Yeah. So all those foods really has, every single food in your recipe book has this explanation what they are for and how to take it and
and has the correct quantities that you need. But there is, just a few little tips, just explaining with each recipe why I feel this is really good for you. And like I said earlier, it's thanks to my lovely brother Rich. He's got the incredible knowledge. He spent so much time researching, like I say, the link between diet and disease, and how what you put in your body really does do stuff for you. So
I didn't know Rich doing this. I thought Nick is doing all this research for some reason.
So Nick's does a lot of his main thing at the moment is breath work and yoga and meditation and Akashic records, and he's really getting into that side of things. Rich,
I think I need next one ask Nick come on show.
Yeah, Nick's got incredible knowledge and is really helping so many people with anxiety and just calming yourself. And Wim Hof, for example, he got me really into Wim Hof breathing. Wim Hof is a guy that it's a breathing thing. You can YouTube it to start with it. So basically, you have to breathe really.
How you spell it?
WIMHOFF. He does all these ice baths and everything as well. He does. He's got a huge following now. WIMHOFF.
I will look up
Wim Hof breathing. There's, I think the beginning to start his breathing is an 11-minute YouTube video, and basically he talks you through it. But what you do is you do 30 seconds of intense breathing, like really, really fast, right down, breathe through your mouth, you're breathing right into your belly. You can feel your stomach going in and out. You're really strong, fast. And then he tells you to take your last breath and you stop for a minute. And it sounds like a long time, but it flies by. And it is, you get into an amazing meditative state. It's euphoric. It's so amazing for you. And I actually did my first white collar boxing fight in December, and I was getting a little bit into pickle about it. And Nick said,
I remember that.
Yeah. And Nick said, come on, you need to remember your Wim Hof breathing. And I did it every day religiously. And it's not just for for your mind, to calm the mind, but it's amazing how it really helps physically as well. But so Nick's fascinating to talk to with, like I said, the power of your breath, how it really is so good again for your body, for your mindfulness, as an everyday thing. We forget, we breathe every day. We don't realize the power of actually what breathing is doing and filling our lungs with it.
But I actually find normally when people breathe, and myself including, obviously, it just, you breathe very shallow breathing, and
Exactly.
you breathe just to stay alive, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I find even when I'm now going very often on my bike out on bike ride by the sea, how breathing and how my body changes straight away when I'm going out on a bike ride. You breathing straight away, you feel like all your body inside is like taking breath in, and all your body feels like more revitalized.
Yeah. Another thing is when you're doing that kind of physical activity, which Nick really tried to make me aware of when I was training all the time, is to really try and focus on breathing through your nose, not your mouth, and how it really does help you in that kind of fit when you're in that physical state, rather than like the panting through the mouth. By slowing it down. And I remember thinking that even in my fight, I remember having the awareness, thinking, right, consciously keep your mouth shut, and it will help you with your stamina and everything like that. And then it really does help. It's amazing. But he really is a quite incredible guy to talk to, with the knowledge way over my head of the stuff he knows. And again, they spend so much time researching and really put their whole passion into this. Rich is incredible, like I said, with his knowledge of nutritional side of things. But together, which also would be a great thing for you to chat with them about, is they've now, since the start of lockdown, they've created they got building in the garden, and we had a polytunnel, and they started planting things and growing vegetables, and it's now developed into this amazing it's actually a registered charity now called Nourish Community, and they devote so much time out there. We have volunteers come over. We have got a huge project where they're growing all these vegetables and donating them to families that have seriously low income. With the whole, when all the lockdown thing started, and someone we know, she had to sign up for the they get given a box of food every week or something. I can't remember what it was down to, but it was on very low income families or individuals, and literally what was sent to them was basically a load of tinned processed food. There was not one fresh vegetable in there, and it was shocking to think that these families were basically been given this to survive on, which even more drove my brothers. So we've got a Grounded, which is based in Boscombe, quite a well-known local charity. They do so much for the homeless, and they organise things. And they've actually asked if I would come along one day to one of their fundraisers and do like a live cooking demo. But what the boys do is they're donating literally boxes of vegetables, and they've been going to the food bank, and the volunteers in the food bank are just blown away when they turn up with all this stuff, because no one ever gives them fresh veg and fruit and salad. This is all completely organic, all homegrown, and they've, like I said, they've done amazing. And they've literally put, it's completely not for profit, and they're just out there every day. They've put in an irrigation system. We've got another polytunnel up there now, and obviously it's been lovely for us to be able to go into the garden and pick literally our own home, as a lot of people do, especially at the moment in this coming times. Picking our own kind of fruit and veg and cooking it is amazing, but to give so much away to them. So they are fascinating, and they're amazing guys, and they'd be great to have a chat with you, I think.
I think also you're talking about this charity. I may can organize some chat with those charity people. Maybe there is somebody who watching my videos and maybe want to volunteer in this charity as well. So
Yeah, definitely. I
so
mean,
to bring more people.
yeah, sure. I mean, Grounded as well. They're amazing. They'd be probably love to have a chat with you as well. Michael's the guy. He's what they do is amazing. And like I said, the boys with Nourish Community have formed quite an amazing relationship with them, and they're working together is what is been lovely, and it's opened all of our eyes up to so much more that's going on in our local town, let alone the whole country. To really try and if everyone just could start somewhere with maybe a little bit of home growing as well. It's amazing.
That's very nice to say, but like me, I don't have anything really to grow. I have like tiny little front garden for flowers. Yeah,
So
and I have tiny bit patio on the back. That's it.
But again, we've got friends the same, and they've my brothers have told them how to do window growing. It really is that there is possibilities out there. A friend of ours, who's literally got a tiny flat, no garden at all, and she's been growing all sorts just for having these window boxes. You just, like I say, if you can just start somewhere, but each to their own. Some people don't have the time for that or the passion behind it. But that's mainly their biggest thing with that is the giving to the community and helping.
I think each of us is here for one reason, and reason to help somehow. We have our own ways how to help. I probably choose different way. I started this channel to help people move, especially in these times when there's so much chaos around. Yeah, when you don't know where you to hear proper information from where about all medicine, about food, about everything.
Yeah.
When you're waking up one day and finding out we've been lied to all our lives about absolutely everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and imagine now when in next few months will be more and more people just waking up in this chaos, around them.
Yes.
How much they need help and how much people like me and others, will help from this part, with coaching, with moving forward, with giving information, and others again helping with agriculture, with all food side of it. Yeah.
Oh, of course. I mean, the biggest thing, what you've just said, 100%, is being there to support people, their mental health, and what, like I said, when you really look around the world right now and think what, like you say, we've been lied to all our lives, and literally nothing surprises me anymore with what's coming out or what's going on, or Boris, for example, resigning this morning.
He resigned
this morning.
I don't
watch the news either, but it flashed up on my friend's phone saying breaking news: Boris has resigned. So even the whole downfall of the government and the breakdown of everything, the banking systems, everything going on at the moment, it's mind-boggling. But for people that are only just realizing this, like you say, what a scary world to be in. So 100% what you're doing and other people out there, and
your mom doing, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
that's so
I
important.
want to pick up my courage and one day ask your mom on my show. I don't know how it will work out, but I do want her on the show.
You'd love to do that, of course. You don't need courage to ask that.
I think I find out, last week, I have quite often chats with lady who communicates with angels.
Okay.
Elizabeth Fortune. And she gave me like exercise where it was 9 points on a piece of paper. And I have to connect those 9 points with 4 lines.
Right. Okay.
And I was trying connect different ways, and nothing came out for me. And I give up. I said, that's it. No point wasting time. I can't connect in 4 lines. And then she showed me how to connect, and response on me not be able to connect actually was, I'm still thinking in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to connect those points. You need to go out of the box, enlarge those lines, yeah, out of the box, and then you will manage connect with 4 lines.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I had like realization after all those about 10 years learning, yeah, and trying get out of box and think out of box. I think am at some points still there in this box.
Okay.
And sometimes it's quite disheartening. Like I asked one of quite big guys in YouTube, I asked him to come on my show. And he replied to me and he wanted to know more about my channel. I gave him details of my channel and he just didn't communicate with me anymore. Yeah. When he find out I don't have 1,000 followers yet. Yeah. I have only 100 something. Yeah. So it's time and time again, it's getting disheartened, and build yourself up to actually ask somebody else who is in a higher level. Yeah. It takes some courage.
Of course, but I can pretty much guarantee that Mum would happily come on and have a chat with you. I think it would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure, because I'm so grateful to your mom. To where I am at the moment is at least 60% is your mom's health. Because everything else, all my life I knew I'm different and something is not right in the world, and I go this way to start figure it out what is going on, why I'm thinking this way and why others thinking. But with your mom, I actually find that's get all this puzzle together.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah. So now your brothers is making this beautiful garden. All your bank details. Oh dear. What I'm thinking, I don't know. All your contact details are below the video. So all our viewers, if they want to contact Natalie and find out more about her book or buy book. Actually, Natalie, your book is on Amazon as well, or it's only you selling?
No, it's actually just a downloadable PDF. It's extremely colourful, so we decided it would be to have that into print would be too much. I mean, it's literally $4.99. There's quite a lot of recipes in there and a few information sheets that I've chucked in. And it is a downloadable. Some people do struggle, they don't get the link. So if that's a problem, if anyone has anything, just email me and I can send it to you straight away. Not through the website, but it's there's lots of different things in there. Lots of starters, light lunches, a juice. My golden milk recipes in there as well. Lots of different things.
Yeah, and do you want to say something else today to our viewers?
I think we've covered quite a lot.
Is there something what we haven't covered yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like we've talked about all sorts today.
We covered one thing. I know you have beautiful daughter who is 9 years old.
Yeah.
9. And how I know she's starting to help you out on banquets, what you are doing. And she's starting to help out. Does she likes cooking and likes help you in the kitchen cooking and try to do some recipes as well already?
She does love to get involved with cooking. She's my little right hand girl. What she really loves to do is when we have events here, is she loves to be part of what Mum does. I think she will follow in Mum's footsteps more with the helping people. She's incredibly, she's an old soul. She's got a lot behind her, and she comes out with some brilliant things. And that's where I think where she'll probably go down that route of, she's grown up completely in a happy, positive home. She doesn't witness kind of negativity, and I think she's going to go far with stuff. But probably not the cooking side of things. And also her dad is an ex-chef, and I think he would definitely tell her to not go down that side of things. But no, she's great. She's amazing. She's a real power girl.
I think chef's work really is difficult one, because when you're cooking events like Moms, how much? 100 about is biggest what you cook. I think.
Yeah, probably.
So something about because I'm background of waitressing and restaurant manager in my own country. So
same as me, yeah.
So I've been doing banquets, and as a manager, I never been like stay in sidelines. I always was hands-on everywhere, helping waitresses and helping kitchen and everything. And I find fascinating how actually hard is this job, chef's job in the kitchen.
Definitely. I couldn't do it. The numbers.
Put together banquet of 100 or something, and everything put together to actually come up with beautiful tables. Yeah.
It's a serious talent. A serious talent. They do say a lot of chefs, they are a bit grumpy, and I think, well, no wonder. They're the pressure in that kitchen and the heat and everything is, I wouldn't want to do that. Hence, I call myself a cook, and I'm passionate in it, but I'm passionate in doing it for myself and others on a smaller scale, and creating that way, rather than I'd never want to be in a kitchen and have 60 checks put up in front of me and having to get everyone's dinner out in the next 20 minutes. No, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's why we understand her father doesn't want her to go in his footsteps. Okay, and I think today we actually covered quite a lot, and if you want to get in contact with Natalie, please look up her email and website so you can get in contact, and you can download her beautiful cookbook. And for today, thank you very much, everybody who is watching. If you like my videos, please don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube video. And from our hearts to yours, thank you for watching, and God bless.
Thank you.